As you walk down the maze of neon-stained streets you are aware of, but aren't looking at everything surrounding you. Monolithic concrete buildings tower overhead, sometimes with parts ablaze with corporate logos reaching out into the street. Trash and broken glass crunches underfoot. Low-flying vehicles occasionally drown out all other sound with a deep, window-rattling rumble you feel in your chest. Pipes that could hold anything, wires, the veins of the city, or water, the fuel of its cogs, sporadically jut out into and across the street, and you walk over them naturally and habitually. Groups of menacing people huddle in alleys. Gangs, police, private security, it doesn't matter. They all pose the exact same threats. Of course, you never look at any of these permanent features of the city of Chicago. Looking gets you killed. Looking is like holding a flashing "Mug Me" sign over your head. Nobody that lives longer than night ever looks. They just see, and they notice. As you walk, you pass a club called Rust. Light and noise called music spilling out into the black concrete. Inside, people, well, more machines by weight, compare cyber limbs and swap memories and skills in the form of data chips. There's always something interesting happening at Rust, but not for you. Not tonight, at least. You have other business. A suited man stands staring into a net terminal on the side of the street. Normally, such a helpless lack of awareness tends to keep body banks in business. But things are a little different when you're looking into a telecom terminal. Telecom has made the rules around public pay terminals achingly clear. Touch our customers, and you die a painful death. And your family dies a painful death. The sparse but present night crowd steers a clear path around the man in the suit, carefully observing the faded paint 2-foot radius circle surrounding the terminal. The circle could hold out the residents of hell. Unless, of course, those residents had a deal with telecom. Finally, you arrive at your destination, a seemingly nondescript tower. As you walk into the relatively well-kept lobby, a guard approaches, Arasaka security badge shining on his chest. Before he can say anything, the magic words play from your voice box. Recoil's expecting me. The elevator ride up feels far longer than it actually is, and when you finally step out, you are greeted by an imposing metal bank vault door. Before you can knock, you hear a machine whir to life and the door slowly opens. Standing there is a man so cybered up, he puts those spark plugs back at Rust to shame. He coolly looks you up and down and says, "Welcome. Please have a seat with the others." All right. Welcome to Season 2 of Cyberpunk, everybody. Players, viewers.
Very excited.
This is going to be great. If you're new and just joining us, this is an excellent time to get started. We have mostly new characters and new plots, and yeah, we're going to be playing Fate Core. This will be a great chance for us to learn the system. We have some experience in Fate, and it'll be a good chance for you to kind of get some in and outs of Fate. That's why we have these funny dice with pluses and minuses. But yeah, it's going to be good. Everyone's excited. And it's hot. Still.
It's very, this is why I refuse to have a costume.
We're all still wearing costumes.
Yes.
I guess we're gonna open up in the scene in your penthouse.
Yeah.
Recoil.
They've walked back through to the bar, the
Sure.
living room section. Okay.
Describe to us what the penthouse looks like, kind of where everybody's seated, and then everybody can go ahead and describe what you look like. And that's where we'll begin.
Okay.
You do your little speech.
So the entryway to the penthouse after Mr. Marcy lets you inside looks like it's got a nice stone floor on the front of it, and it's got a wooden door on the front. Mr. Marcy opens the door for you because if he didn't do it the right way, you all would be gassed with neurotoxin, and leads you into the foyer, which is this nice carpeted room. The furniture in the house is kind of like 70s style, kind of like those curved swept-back chairs, the old over crazy clocks, and then there's like tubes and glowing wires running throughout the entirety of the house and stuff like that to unknown places you can't see. As you stride back through the kitchen into the main living space, you see that this living space is taken up with a fireplace and a wooden bar over in one corner with kind of like a marble over ceiling for it that has lights coming down from it. And then the entire wall is actually this wide window that just looks out onto the city where it's raining and thundering, I'm guessing. So, yeah. That's the gist of it. And I'm standing at the window with my hands folded behind my back.
Yeah.
Of course.
Couldn't be any better than that.
Your names and your looks.
Recoil this time around still has his sweat black blonde hair. He would be smoking a cigarette, but there's several ground out in the ashtray next to him on a small end table. He's got on a white tie with this black button-up shirt and kind of nice khaki pants, I guess. The only thing you notice about him that's slightly out of the ordinary would be, well, not out of the ordinary for Cyberpunk, but not a normal human, is the cyber arm that kind of hangs limply from his side to the right. It kind of looks a little awkward on him. He doesn't look like he's quite gotten used to working with it yet, so he's kind of still figuring out how to fiddle with it. And I turn around, is it all enter at the same time? Or?
Nah.
Nah.
You choose?
I choose who comes in first?
Go ahead.
Okay, because I was...
It is your penthouse.
So, are you standing at the window with your arms behind your back for the entirety of the time that everyone is coming in?
We all just get there.
Like,
because Marcy's leading the band.
I'm an hour
Right.
late.
So I
She's not going to address us until we're all there.
that was my thought. Like, there's like chairs set out for you guys and stuff like that.
I'm just curious whether or not if it's a half-hour duration that you're just staying there for half an hour just looking out the window.
Yeah, I'll totally
we
do that.
slowly show
Yeah,
up and
mobile.
just kind of like watch them.
I like that. That's even more creepy.
Everybody kind of sitting like tries to make awkward conversation. So how you doing?
Please do not address recoil
Oh,
until
yeah.
everyone is here. Help yourself to the bar.
Is there like a little sign?
All right, so
Don't mind if I do.
what's our order?
Oh, everybody comes in the same... I'm waiting until everybody comes.
Okay.
So do we need
So
to-
everybody's arrived.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means he showed up last year.
So if you're gonna speak,
Who cares?
we'll take pause for a moment and just describe who you are, like what your name is and what you look like, very briefly, and then go ahead and say your thing. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay. So I turn around from the window to face all of you sitting in the chair. I was like, gentlemen, lady, thank you so much for joining me here this evening. Can I get any of you a drink?
Already have mine.
Oh, good. I'll
Shit,
take
yeah.
a cold ice water.
Okay.
Not a warm ice water.
Mr. Marcy.
As you wish.
Called you all here for a very specific reason. I have one goal in mind and one goal only. I'm gonna rule Chicago. I'm going from the ground up. I'm gonna be in charge of everything here in a couple of months. And I want you guys in on the ground floor.
You think you're good enough?
Oh no, not at all.
Listen, what's your name? What do you look like?
Johnny Boyo. I am. Look like I have kind of disheveled, medium-length blonde hair. Leather punk jacket with stitch-in names of the neo-punk bands of the future, such as Neo Rancid. Rancid Plus.
If they're all the same name,
Yeah,
it's all on the
Rancid
jacket.
Rancid X.
Yeah.
No, it's the same
Yes.
band members, they're just animatrized.
Yeah. Really tight,
Hologram
tattered,
Tupac.
kind of skinny jeans, really thick combat boots, and glorious guitar on his back.
Whoa.
Which
But
we
I-
haven't confiscated.
Of course not. The guitar's name is the Gospel, and I carry the Gospel with me everywhere I go.
Amazing.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So back to the role play.
No, of course I'm not good enough. That's why I need the rest of you to help me out. But I do have certain skills and other applicable connections that could assist us in my goal. Each of you has a certain set of abilities that would be helpful in me achieving this aim, and I promise you all be rewarded handsomely for it. Whatever you may consider to be an apt reward. Of course, money is always a consolidation, but with where we're going, we could honestly have our pick. So tell me, what does each of you want? What can I get for you after this great task is done?
I've heard that you know people, powerful people.
Ryan, what's your character look like and what's your name?
My character's name is Colby Stills, aka their net alias is Sharky. Yes, when they're in the net, they have a shark hoodie that you can't see their face. If you take the hoodie off, they have no face, because what they do on the net is they break in to data fortresses of corpse and basically just fuck with their shit and say, I was here, your security sucks. They don't really have a direction, but they're building up a pretty infamous reputation.
Great.
Their appearance is, yeah, they don't have this hoodie in real life, but they have sort of weirdly, jaggedly cropped black hair that's sort of like swooped over to the side, and they got like fingerless gloves ridiculously chunky, neon-colored shoes. They sort of like, something from like Jet Set Radio, the
Awesome.
video game. Yeah.
All right. Back to the roleplay.
Heard you know people, powerful people.
I know a lot of people who can do a lot of things in a lot of different ways.
Do you know any legendary netrunners?
I might know a few.
That's what I want.
A legendary netrunner?
I want to meet them. I want to pick their brain. I want to talk to them.
Yeah, I think I know one in particular.
Perfect. Then I'm in.
Well, that was simply easy. What about the rest of you?
Oh, quick in-game referencing. How long of a time has passed since the adventures with Kirin?
Oh yes.
I think we're going.
It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recoil has been on adventures, losing limbs, running, lots of running,
For the first time.
lots of buying things with dead acquaintances' money, and
So many dead
so-
acquaintances.
so it's been 3 years since our last.
And
game.
And
all of the stuff that happened that's just kind of like run-of-the-mill cyberpunk world stuff, right? Like that kind of stuff is going on all over the place. So
People are just blowing up.
yeah, so it's not
dying.
like a big thing here because we're like on the other,
We're in
on
Chicago.
a bigger, yeah.
No
and
one
is
even
there
knows.
any continuing known interactions? Like, does Kirin still exist in the world that people know about, or has he gone to ground? Or
Kieran is still at the lagoon, but not nearly as much.
okay,
Nowadays, if you want to talk to Kieran, people wait around sometimes as much as a week
all right.
to actually meet with Kieran. But he's known to frequent the place still.
So are both Rico and Karen still sufficiently semi-public that they know of the other person still existing?
I shouldn't be public at all.
He's underground.
I burned up
Okay.
all my contacts and money getting out of the public eye.
Okay, so your contacts with these people were a shock to everyone.
I've been waiting 3 years to come back and kill it and take down everybody. And
Okay.
I
You
finally-
already killed everybody.
Well, I mean.
So
I-
basically,
Stay dead.
He didn't kill everybody. He got them killed. Big difference.
Okay.
but like in the
True,
game world,
true.
this is your coming out party. Like anyone who hears your name suddenly are like, oh my god, we haven't heard from him in 3 years. We
Exactly.
don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
All right.
If I'm that famous to begin with. Like I was low level fixer. It's not like people.
I know at least 2 people who are looking for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Great. Who's gonna jump
Where
in?
were we? Oh yeah.
What do you want?
What are you doing?
Well, do you like? Why am I here? I mean, people don't really like know me very well.
Mr. Fries, is it?
What do you look like?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I am. I'm wearing a sweater, and with like a big zigzag down it. Naturally, very Charlie Brown style.
Cosby sweater.
Yeah, like a Cosby sweater. That is the perfect description. Cosby sweater. I'm kind of overweight. I have blonde hair as well, and I have like a blonde mustache. And I'm just wearing like normal work boots and just like slacks. And I have a bow tie, even though this is not a bow tie.
Awesome.
Ah yeah, Mr. Fries, is it?
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Actually.
Mr. Freeze. No, I knew I was.
I'm using character.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze. You're here because you have intimate knowledge of certain places I need to get into. But more importantly, you have something else that I need. That gel of yours,
Yeah.
it could be quite handy in the upcoming events that take place.
Oh, well, okay, cool. I have a lot of gel. I can, yeah. I'll get it for you. Cool, yeah, okay.
Well, that was simple.
Ray, I never thought I'd see you here, working with these kind of people.
Do I know you?
Come on, you gotta remember. Down on 5th Street, we grew up together, dude.
Johnny?
Dude, give me some sugar.
Describe yourself first.
You
I
did.
already described myself.
Do it again. Okay. I hardly recognize you. I don't recognize you.
Oh,
It's been what, like...
you
Like,
you
what,
haven't
like 8
changed
years?
a bit, something like that.
Oh,
Man,
well.
damn, I forgot. No.
I hate
Sorry.
to interrupt the reunion, gentlemen, but we do have business to attend to. Mr. Boyo? Is that really your real name?
That is
Seriously?
live it up.
Alright. Mr. Boyo,
Yes.
what do you want from me? You're here because of your knowledge with explosives and blowing things up,
Well,
which we'll need in short order here very soon. But for now, I need to know where you stand.
where I stand, what I want?
Well, you've obviously answered my summons, so you must be somewhat interested.
Of course. You're bringing down some corpse, and that's almost reward enough, almost.
I see.
You can get... Surely, you're a smart man. You would know my past. You can find the men that did everything they did to me, took my life from me. I'm as good as yours.
Certainly I can. Alright. Well, that's simply simple. We just, hire up a few netrunners. I'm sure they can locate whatever corp took down your band. And then we can go and eliminate them as well. But that's a little further down the road. For now, we'll just stick to small steps. Baby
Good enough.
movements. And finally, the infamous...
Do you mind if I smoke?
No, not at all.
Oh, thank you. All right. Of course, I light up a cigarette. So, Sal is dressed in a coat like this. He has slicked back, black hair. He has a 7 o'clock shadow. It's a little worse than a 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, yeah.
He smells of cheap whiskey and cigarettes. And he has some really bad cologne, and it makes a pretty dank smell. So he doesn't smell that good. And otherwise, he's kind of just been sitting there the whole time, just paying attention.
Finally, the infamous Stringer.
Yes.
As soon as he lights up his cigarette, people who are noticing, because Ben Marcy spends most of his time glancing around the room. Every time someone's talking, he kind of keeps eyeing everyone else, occasionally looking a little extra at your guitar because he's a little suspicious of it being so obvious. But when he lights up his cigarette, Ben glances towards the door, and for anyone noticing, they notice that when Ben makes eye contact with the control panel, the atmospheric controls jump up one notch.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Well, let's start with Syndicorp, and we'll go from there.
I see. So you too want to take down corporations.
Yes, and money is nice as well.
Alright.
Always about
Well, this is
money.
far easier than I thought it was going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to introduce you to my associate, Mr. Marcy. Mr. Marcy is a tank of a man. Mr. Marcy can snap a man's spine in 2 seconds flat. He's our muscle, so to speak, and he has unerring loyalty towards me. If any of you should try to harm me, you could expect to be on the wrong end of his hands.
Speak as if killing is out of the normal. If it's something special.
Killing is not out of the normal, no, not in our world, but Mr. Marcy elevates it to an art form.
It is generally an inconvenience.
I'll give you an example. Just last week, I was almost assassinated by an unknown man who happened to enter my apartment, and Mr. Marcy saw it upon himself to rip the man in half.
Sounds
I've
like
never seen
your
that.
sister knows what you're doing.
What are your cleaning bills like?
Yeah. I have good business with some of the maids downstairs.
Oh, then I kick up my boots onto the table. Make sure I get some scuffs in.
Mr. Boyle, please. We are gentlemen here.
Oh no, it's quite all right. I wouldn't worry about it.
As you wish, sir.
Relax.
Now, the first step in a long campaign to taking down Synthicorp, which is our first target, is eliminating a local chip refinery they have. And I walk up to that huge window I was talking about before, and you guys notice there's actually a transparent computer screen.
Ooh.
And I click on it, and I start pulling down plans and stuff like that, and pictures of the place and things. Now, I don't exactly have any intel on it, but I do know on the place itself, but I do know that they're just about to get in a huge shipment of chips. Taking down this chip manufacturing wing of Synthicorp would cripple the company severely. This will be our first mission as a team, I believe is what we could call it. Once we take this down, the dominoes will begin to tumble. And from there on, we should be able to progress naturally up the chain of command and take down the head of Synthicorp herself.
What
Now,
was her name?
Hmm?
Head of Synthicor. What was her name? I swore I worked there. One time or another.
I can't really remember. That's probably something you should find out.
We'll talk later.
If she was a boss of mine, I'd love to get a chance to
It's
her.
quite the story.
So the other thing is that, again, for those of you who are observing and suspicious, as soon as Rico starts moving around the room, a few of you notice that for some odd reason, even though it's almost imperceptible, whenever he moves, the cigarette smoke tends to move in the opposite direction.
We're gonna have to
That's
move.
advanced.
We're gonna have to move fast on this because this huge shipment they're getting in isn't gonna be there forever. We're gonna have to hit them tomorrow night, which means we need to start working now. Sharky and Mr. Hooney, I need you to an intel gathering. I need maps. I need data. I need shipment times. I need anything you can gather.
Call me Sal.
Sal,
Yes.
Sharky, and Sal. I need
Don't call me Sharky around other people, okay?
Oh no, of course not.
Good.
What should I call you?
Colby.
Oh.
That's my real name.
Oh, well,
Colby Stills.
Colby then. Colby and Sal, I need you two to get any information you can on this wing, on this contractor, as soon as possible. From there, we should be able to formulate a plan to hit them.
Wait, I just plug in right there.
Oh, you're not just gonna be like, Luke, I already have the info.
Well, I wanted to do that, but I wasn't sure if you'd let that fly and be like, I already have it.
No.
Yeah.
There's going to be a thing with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, Chief, what's the plan of attack today?
Well, we'll do a little digging first.
Alright.
We might not necessarily have
actually-
to attack yet.
If you could not do it from my home net port or apartment, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, I'm using downstairs, actually.
I'd feel a lot better if you're out of the building.
Okay.
We'll meet tomorrow night, or we'll meet tomorrow afternoon here to reconvene and map out our plan before we go that night.
Alright.
Does that sound average? Say 1 o'clock?
Sure, yeah.
Perfect.
One.
Wait, 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Doesn't work for me. I have work.
When do you get off of work?
3 p.m.
All right. 3:30 it is then.
Alright, sounds good.
Mr. Marcy, if you would kindly escort Mr. Freeze and Mr. Boyo to the door and lead them down and lead them to the elevator, I'd most appreciate it.
We
As you wish, sir.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
okay.
No, I insist. I'm gonna have them stay behind. I need to give them a bit more instruction, if you don't mind.
I was gonna say I can help myself, and I get up and start
Yeah.
walking.
So
I gesture to the door, making sure that they are moving before I start moving, and that I do not walk out the door until they're outside of the door.
I'm starting to feel
Sure.
really uncomfortable, and I shift around my seat and I look at Sal like, should we?
Hold on, I'll get up and I'll.
Okay, so you guys are
Yeah.
gone out of the room then? You're out of the
Oh
apartment?
yeah, I invite you to
And
my
we,
place.
and we converse.
Yes.
Oh, you want me to come over?
Yeah.
Oh.
Catch up, have a beer.
Okay, yeah, alright, yeah.
Okay.
Please, be at ease. I only need you here to give you a final note of instruction. I want you to start researching Mr. Marcy with everything you have. Look, the man's loyalties are unerring, but the location he came from, I'm not quite certain of yet.
Nobody knows that. He's
Well,
quite the mystery. He just shows up, does a job, disappears, shows up again.
well, you're supposed to be the best in this business, so dig as far as you can to find out everything you can about him. Somebody's holding the gun, and I want to know who has their finger on the trigger.
We can do that.
Excellent. I'll see you back here at 3:30.
Okay.
Alright. That's
And
everyone.
see.
End scene. Awesome. You guys are going